I always felt that Clayface is one such character that deserves a lot more attention from DC Studios, and I was thrilled when the movie announcement was made. Finally, we have the first official trailer for Clayface, and I think the brief clip has enough for the fans to be excited. This movie is going to explore the origin of the underrated Batman villain, Matt Hagen, and the journey of a recognized actor in Gotham who undergoes a monstrous facial transformation. Seems like the perfect recipe for a dark narrative. I just know this much, that if James Gunn and DC Studios have seen this as a story worth telling, there will be no pulling punches, and the trailer is expectedly hard-hitting. While it doesn't reveal much regarding the characters in the movie, in this video I'll tell you all about the ones confirmed and the ones that you can expect to see. Clayface, Matt Hagen, played by Tom Rhys-Harries. First things first, I think Tom Rhys-Harries is a pretty good choice for the titular role, and the first teaser is largely focused on him as he lies in a hospital bed. You can see his face covered in bloodied bandages, and his bloodshot eyes are almost haunting as they stare into the camera. The teaser also suggests that he was attacked and his face was slashed by a knife, and you can see these shots that show him attending a movie premiere that confirms he's an actor in Gotham City. In fact, this version of Clayface might not go ahead with the familiar struggling actor trope, and he might be a promising newcomer or an established face before he endures this facial mutilation. I have a feeling, and I can see many fans agree, that the movie will be heavily inspired by Matt Hagen's origin story in Batman the Animated Series. The two-part episode titled Feet of Clay is one of my favorites from the show, and here, Matt Hagen was an actor whose face was disfigured, following which he was given a formula to apply by a corrupt businessman. This mutates him into Clayface, and the teaser suggests that we might see something on similar lines in the movie. Let's not forget that Batman the Animated Series is where the villain had a real mainstream breakout, and it's not surprising that the creators have chosen that version for the movie. Clearly, he becomes a subject of some experiments, and it takes a toll on his body, mutating him into something else entirely. There are shots that capture his face melting away like wax, and his lips and eyes almost stick together. Also, the final shot of Hagen in the teaser shows him in a tub where he wipes his entire facial features away, turning him into a blank slate. We've been told that Tom Rhys-Harries was cast after considering several other actors, and rumors even suggested that Daniel Radcliffe was considered for the role, even though James Gunn dismissed the news. About casting Harries, he said, "After a long and incredibly exhaustive search, we finally have our DCU Clayface, and he surely looks like a good fit." The film's directed by James Watkins and written by the horror legend Mike Flanagan, so I think we'll get a very substantial role and story arc that might be a defining moment for the actor. Dr. Caitlyn Bates, played by Naomi Ackie. The quick teaser also gives us the first proper look at Naomi Ackie, who plays the role of Dr. Caitlyn Bates in the movie. It's been suggested that she might also be a love interest for Matt Hagen, and her character has been compared to the Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes. I guess it's safe to say that she'll play a major role in Matt Hagen's transformation into Clayface, and you'll see her as the one overseeing the experimental treatment that he undergoes. Now, before you go looking her up in the comic books, let me stop you, because she's an original character created specifically for this movie. From what's been revealed by trusted sources, she's the CEO of a biotech startup that aspires to create a cutting-edge medicine and medical technology. It starts off as she finds Matt Hagen to be the perfect subject to experiment upon and grow her company, but with time, she falls in love with him, which complicates things further. She might help him gain more control over his new abilities with time, such as maintaining his human form and the ability to shapeshift into anyone he wants. Also, she has a boyfriend named John who starts to grow suspicious of their relationship, and I can see how all these aspects might fit into the complex narrative. Naomi Ackie is a powerful performer, and I am sure she will do justice to her role. Detective John, played by Max Minghella. This is another character that has been created originally for the movie and has no presence in the extensive comic book lore. Detective John works for the police department in Gotham City, and he's expected to have a major role to play in the movie. He's the fiancé of Caitlyn Bates, and John grows suspicious of her relationship with Matt Hagen because of their close proximity. Now, the creators have been tight-lipped about any further details on the character, but I don't think he'll be a bad guy. I mean, he might not exactly be a fan of Matt Hagen, who's going to be romantically involved with his fiancé, but I think John will be the guy who will keep his personal issues aside for the sake of the investigation. He might be the one to unravel the secrets around the experiment experimental procedure that changes Matt Hagen, and he might even face off against Clayface later in the movie. Max Minghella is an experienced actor who can handle the complications of the role, and I would love it if his investigations go further into identifying the culprits responsible for disfiguring Matt. Eddie Marson's secret role. See, we know that Eddie Marson is part of the movie, but his role is completely under wraps, and we know absolutely nothing about it. Some fans have theorized that he could be a mob boss in the film, and he could also be a doctor at the facility where Matt Hagen undergoes treatment. David Densick's involvement in the movie. This is another prominent actor who's been officially announced as a part of the cast. You might know David Densick from his role in Chernobyl and No Time to Die, and I have a feeling that his character in the film will be someone significant. There have been speculations that he might be the gangster who disfigures Matt Hagen, and there could be some truth to this theory. I totally see him as a shadowy, badass villain who makes life difficult for the protagonist. But I might be completely wrong, since the teaser shows nothing about him to draw conclusions from. What will be the role of Joshua James and Nancy Carroll? These will be the other two significant roles in the movie, because both Joshua James and Nancy Carroll are talented actors who wouldn't be brought in for meaningless cameo. Maybe they could be part of the crowd that Clayface chooses to target, or they could be responsible for his condition in some way. Will there be a Joker cameo? This is the first thing that came to my mind when I watched the teaser, because there's a blink and you miss it moment that shows posters for Amusement Isle. As you may know, this is an abandoned section of Gotham City from the original DC Comics, and it has served as a special hideout for the villains of Gotham, like the Joker, who has a natural inclination towards such carnival theme. Is this just a smart Easter egg or a hint about the presence of the Joker? Only time will tell. But it's also worth noting that the teaser has a scene where we can see the Narrows marked on the walkways to the docks. This was the first scene in Nolan's Batman Begins, where the Narrows was the site of Arkham Asylum, and I wonder what the movie intends to do with such referencing. However, even if Joker actually appears in the movie, expect it to be nothing more than a short cameo. Will we see Batman in this movie? Well, Clayface is essentially a Batman villain, and in a movie dedicated to him, it's only natural to expect a quick cameo from the Caped Crusader. But I'm sorry to disappoint, because nothing along those lines has been confirmed. In fact, some sources have revealed that the movie will be focused around the journey of Matt Hagen. And since this is only an origin story, there will be no role for someone like Batman who he might encounter later. Don't get your hopes up too high, because at this point, a Batman cameo does not appear to be very likely. It seems we'll have to wait a few months for another concrete trailer that reveals more about the major characters in the film. This one is more of a teaser, and it's only fair with the movie release still months away on October 23rd, 2026. The plan is to go ahead with a Halloween release, and I think it fits perfectly for the body horror element of this film. I'm impressed at the first look of the film, and if they handle the story right, this might just be a movie to remember. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the first teaser and the casting choice, and also share your expectations from the movie. Stay marvelous.